Loved ones, it's TJ. I'm your soul integration advocate and life strategist. That is at this time. We're talking about today different types of healing modalities. And I said that at this time because sometimes my title changes depending on where I am in my body and how I am like reaching out to help people. The truth is, we have a buffet, an infinite buffet of healing modalities at our fingertips. Okay, as quantum beings, we can access all types of things without ever going to a class. Okay, now the list that I'm going to provide is a very small list because, like I said, there's infinite abundance of options. But as you continue to develop your own spiritual, sacred, psychic gifts, as well as develop a connection and relationship with your inner self and your team of light, you will start to see and tap into other aspects that are out there that you didn't know were available and that maybe not everyone knows, because all the things are, even with each modality, once people learn the modalities and then put their own blueprint on them, there becomes now a whole other spectrum of modalities within that same one. Okay. What I will say is all of this must be used for the highest good, with the intention for the highest good of all. Everything is energy, okay? Physics tell us, science tells us that energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but it can be worked with. It can be transformed and transmuted, okay? And that is the beautiful thing about this. It's just so beautiful, and I'm just really excited. All right, so I'll always, one of the modalities I'll say is energy work, but technically all of it is energy work. All right, so with that, let's get into our list here. The first one is Reiki. You've heard of Reiki, I'm sure. I am not well versed in Reiki at all. Much to my surprise, I did not even attempt to get trained in Reiki or anything. For whatever reason, my inner self, my higher self, just didn't lead me in that direction, at least right now. Okay, because there's nothing saying that it won't happen. But I am a person who I know that I am geared to the healing arts. It's in my blood, it's in my nature, and it's something that feels like life force for me. So I was really surprised that Reiki didn't like really, it came in front of me, but for whatever reason, I wasn't as drawn to it as I expected. Sound healing. Sound healing, you've seen people with those singing bowls, you've seen the tuning forks, you've seen the chimes, you've seen people use their voices for sound healing. You know, it's all beautiful, it's all energy. And you know, like it's said that the very first thing was sound. The first frequency was sound. I am certified in sound healing. And I use my voice. I love to sing, but I don't know that that's really where I'm supposed to put it in the healing space. Healing for myself to like clear my own throat chakra, which is beautiful. Like if you have a sore throat or some things going on when you don't feel like you can speak your truth, start singing, you know, just loosen that up and move that energy on out. Chimes, I'm looking at my chimes, bells, singing bowls, tuning forks. Tuning forks happen to be one of my favorites as well. And then you have crystal healing. Crystal healing was like the first modality that I intentionally got training in and got certified in, and studied crystals and crystal healing for 7 years, every day straight. I continue to study it because I really, really love the modality, because I love pretty, colorful rocks and things. I love the idea that these beautiful stones are here for us to work with, and that they emit this beautiful energy so that we can get resonance from them. And I'm wearing a terahertz right now, a terahertz necklace, which happens to be a man-made stone. And I typically don't do man-made, but oh my gosh, I have to share more with you guys about this. Anyway, so I was also playing with collapsing time, which is why I became an expert, and how I became an expert. So I'm a certified crystal master practitioner, and I was playing around with collapsing time on it so that I can be an expert. And that's something that everyone can do as well. And it is dynamic, collapsing time. But anyway, so if you want to know more about crystal energy, I'll leave the link below. I created a course. I invested heavily in this for myself, and I was able to take all of the juicy nuggets, condense everything so that it would be a practical, easy to follow, on-demand course for anyone who wants to hit the ground running with all the crystal information. If you want to have conversations about it, you can be confident in that. If you want to start a crystal business, you can be confident in that. If you want to even start crystal healing, you can be confident in that. You want to do a little bit more studying up on the crystals and the energy centers, which I also include in the course, before you get off into the healing space. But you have everything you need in the link below. Elemental healing. I love working with the elements. And the way that I work with them is through my fingers. Okay. And this is, all of these things, they call it New Age. I don't know why they refer to this stuff as New Age when it's ancient as time. But, ancient civilizations have been working with a lot of these things, in full or in part for thousands of years, which is why I love it, and I love sharing about it too, because we can get back to that and claim our own health and wellness and well-being. So the way I work with the elements, and there's so many different ways you can do it. I use my fingers, okay, my mudras. I also like to use different chimes, so if air, fire, water, spirit, earth. I like to do that as well. So that's the sound healing as well. So whatever your buffet is, you can draw from. You can draw from the thing. All right. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but when you start to really connect and meditate on things and hone in and connect with your higher self and your team of light, you will start to be able to access things that you didn't even have access to, and you don't know where it came from. Or you'll be doing things already like automatically, and you're like, oh, there's a name for this, but that's your own way of doing it. And it's not just for the healing arts, it's for lots of things. You'll be really surprised at how magnificent you actually are. Herbalism, that's another one. I have an apothecary. Herbalism is something that I am learning. I am a medicine keeper in that way. Just when you think about like your ancestors, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, even my parents, I remember a lot of the holistic healing. My father was making cough syrup for my grandmothers and stuff, and my grandmothers were making tinctures and things like that. And my mother, when I got sick, I remember everything was holistic. So herbalism is another beautiful one, and it's just something that it's in my roots. Okay, so I am learning more about that as we speak. Quantum healing. Quantum healing I really love, and I do a form of that on this channel, where I'm working with light activation. But with quantum healing, you are accessing quantum consciousness, and you are in communication with the other person's consciousness, because your higher self, your consciousness, inner self, whatever you want to call it, knows what the healing that you need. And so if you are a quantum healer, then you are sending the activation to the person, and the higher self is working with you on that. All right. Now that everyone can do and has access to it, but I always, when I think about quantum, I always feel like you have to really like do a little bit of homework before you start delving into those things. Anytime I'm doing a healing session, I make sure that everything is cleansed and cleared the space. I called in all of the four directions, the higher powers, all of the team of light and everything, and I make sure that the container is closed. So before you start doing healing sessions, whether in person or remotely, you want to make sure you have that protocol in place. Okay. Past life. I think it's also called past life regression. And essentially what that is you're able to access someone's past life or lives and see where the healing is needed in those different areas, and you go accordingly. Then there's the spiritual healer. Now, I actually fall into the spiritual healing on this channel. A spiritual healer, I'm talking about, accessing your team of light, developing your psychic and sacred gifts, as well as operating as a quantum being on a quantum level, as well as your human self. But the quantumness is what I'm really talking about. And a lot of the things here that I speak about is the entire channel is about healing your physical, mental, and spiritual body. Okay. No matter what I'm talking about, in the end, the intention is for your physical body to heal in some way. All right. For your mind to expand in some way where you're like, oh, I got it now. And you just start moving more and more into self-realization, moving more and more into a 4D way of thinking, 5D way of navigating through not problems, not obstacles, but seeing those things as projects and seeing that you get to resolve and you get to work on this project and resolve. Okay, come up with resolutions, and then you contract and expand. So the contraction part is, oh, this is an obstacle, this is a problem. The expansion piece is, oh, well, let me look at it like this. This is actually a project that I get to work on, and then I get to see what I look like and how I am and how I feel on the other side of this thing. I get to flex my quantum beingness. See what I did there? See what I did there? Light healer. Now, light healer is what I don't know that it's a such thing out here in the streets, but that's what I call it, where I work with different light activation, different light frequencies, the colors. On this channel, I do have a small playlist that'll show me doing some of the light frequency healing activations. And I want to do more on this channel, but I'm just waiting for the green light from my team of light to say, okay, go forward with more healing activations. And these healings are here for anyone who needs them. Anyone who happens upon the channel or happens upon the video, that might be the healing that they need in that moment. And so I set it up because I want it to be free. Remote healing is my jam. All of the things that I shared here can be done remotely. There's more. They can be done remotely. And I love remote healing because it gives me the opportunity to do more. You know what I'm saying? To actually help more people. And I really love the idea of being able to do some of them here because it instantly helps more people without it being all official and what do you call it? It's free and you don't have to do all the extras. You don't have to get in the car and go and this and that and sign up. No. I know how I would want it, and so I'm acting accordingly. I'm doing it how I would want it. If I need healing today, right now on this, I don't want to have to wait and sign up for stuff. I want to just be able to click on this channel and see it and know that it is right for me and it is for my highest good in this moment. Okay, and even with that, I make sure before I even start the video, I make sure that I've cleansed and cleared the space and raised the vibration in the space and called in the higher powers to help me do the thing. Okay, and what I want to say is that There's so many more of these. There's another couple I want to go over quickly, but I just want to tell you there are so many. There's an infinite amount of healings that we can tap into, as I said before. And all of these things can be done remotely. But the most important thing is that you must ask. You must always ask permission before you start trying to heal someone, even if you think it's for their best, because we do not want to infringe on someone else's free will. And that is in integrity. We don't want to infringe on their own personal journey and their expansion. We have to remember, not everyone wants to heal. Not everyone wants to be healed. Not everyone wants us to help them with the healing. Okay, we have to remember that we are healing conduits. We are simply the vessel, all right, the hollow bone, and where the healing comes through us and out. All right, okay. And is there anything else I want to say about that? And then too, some people, that's my lip gloss, I'm sorry, but some people don't want to be healed because for whatever reason, the situation that they are in right now, it's serving them. They feel as though it's serving them, and we have to respect that. All right. To everyone, to each one in their own time. Without further ado, the next type of healing is energy medicine. Now, when I'm talking about energy medicine, in this case, I'm talking about the Eden method. Donna Eden is the pioneer of the energy, or of the Eden method, energy medicine. And it includes tapping, tracing meridians, and a few other things. What's beautiful about this is that you don't have to have a positive attitude for it to work. I truly use the daily energy medicine routine every single day. And then when I feel like I need it, I do some of the other techniques and exercises. It's very simple and easy to do. It's easy on the body. And you can actually, if you are in a healing space and you're caring for someone that's close to you and they give you permission, or if they're unable to give you permission, but you know that it's okay, like say if it's a child or a parent, you can actually do the energy routine on them, for them. Okay, you can do that, and it's safe. So like I said, it traces the meridians, and you don't have to have a positive attitude or anything like that. You guys should hear her story. If you're not familiar with her, hear her story. She teaches this certified. You can get certified in this modality as well. She is one of my teachers. I have not been certified in this modality, but I practice it on a regular basis, and I share it with anyone who will listen. All right, because it's energy. What I love is that you don't have to, with certain things, you don't have to get invasive. There is no surgery and cutting and all of the things. You know what I'm saying? There is no having to drive to the appointment and just look. I'm just one of those people. Like I've said before, I like to go straight to it. I'm very direct, straight to it. What do I need? Oh, okay. How do I go? Boom. Calling and making an appointment and having to wait and wait. No. While we're waiting on our appointments, we are taking our wellness in our own hands and bossing up on it, okay? And we're working with energy, all right? Even if you're doing all of these things for yourself, all right? All right, the other one is the bioenergetics. Bioenergetic synchronization technique, which is pioneered by Dr. Tim Morter. All right, and his children are carrying on that legacy. And with the bioenergetic synchronization technique, the idea is that, and a lot of us already know that unresolved emotions, stuck emotions, become stuck energy in your physical body. Energy likes to flow. And it likes to flow through your central channel and just do its thing. But when we have unresolved energy and we're like allowing things to linger and fester and things like that, it gets stuck in the physical body in different areas. All right. And depending on what you're going through based on Chinese medicine, it goes into the different, organs in the body, and it gets stuck. And that stuck energy causes dis-ease in the body. With the bioenergetic synchronization technique, what happens is it is a technique where you actually are your physical body is asked the different questions. It's a whole thing. And I can't teach the class in this because first of all, I'm not, certified to do that. But secondly, it might get a little confusing, but essentially it's helping work through and release the blockages that stuck emotion has caused, so that the energy can flow through and you can start to release some of the pain and even dissolve some of the illness. Okay. So yeah, there is more. This is my list. Guys, some of you are already in the healing space in some capacity, whether it's for yourself, family, the community, on out here and online, or in your community. Put any kind of healings that I didn't mention here, put them in the comments and let us all know about them. We all want to know, and I'm always interested myself, because I just love being able to do things myself and then pass it on to others to help them. Also, what was your first healing modality that you were most attracted to? Or what is the first one that you feel more called to? A lot of people aren't feeling confident in their healing because they don't know if it works, or they might feel like they need to heal themselves. So who are they to be a healer? But the thing is we always are going to need some healing because we're humans. We have a high entropy rate. So we're always going to be, shocked, appalled, and surprised, whether it's good or bad. And so we always have to make sure we're aligned. It's a day-to-day, it's a day-to-day practice. It's very similar to taking a shower and brushing your teeth. It's a maintenance every single day. So it's okay. Okay, so you can still be a healing conduit and need healing yourself. The important thing is that you make the effort and you do the healing sessions for yourself before you go to do other people. I don't like to be in a weird head space before I deal with others, or even before I lay hands on others, which happens to be another healing modality. Okay, your hands and your thoughts and your imagination. All right, did I miss one? Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, because I'm going on and on. But before I even do that, I'm like, if I'm not in a good headspace, I'm not doing it. I've seen with my own eyes how that can impact somebody else's physical body. I'm not going to, if I'm feeling kind of crunchy, I'm not going to do it either. I'm going to work on myself first. I'm going to make sure I'm eating well, drinking my water, eating my fruit and vegetables before I even go there. All right. So yes, we do have a responsibility. It's not very difficult though, and it's okay. See yourself as whole and always see the other person as whole. See them as whole. You're just here to facilitate wellness. That's the long and the short of it. Until the next video, live simply and be kind.